This is Male Rights Activist Podcast, episode 108, where we focus on relationships, sports, and pop culture from a man's point of view. First of all, we want to thank our listeners, our new ones, our OGs. Thank you for hanging with the fellas.
What up?
On today's show, Steph Curry calls Paul George a bitch ass.
The way he looking in these playoffs, Clipper fans feel the same way.
Lisa Ray shoots her shot with Will Smith.
Hey, if she's hurt and sick, maybe the Smiths need to bring her into their home.
Genius. Master P and Monica square off. And can you call somebody a bitch ass white boy? All that and more right now. This is MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. I am Kyle.
I am Kamal.
And we're saving relationships one listener at a time. It started off with the front page. Kamal, did you watch the Democratic Convention?
I watched every night, man. I didn't watch it
Really?
from beginning to end, but I watched every night. I tuned in at least.
How'd you like it, man? I tried to watch, man. I watched all the speeches. The first one I watched, like the whole thing, and then I was like, okay, I can't do this whole thing. This is not going to work for me.
Well,
But I
without the
like the
live
speeches.
without the live audience, man, it's really hard. Without everybody getting hype and standing ovations and saying some dynamite shit and stuff like that. So it's like I didn't like SNL when they did the Zoom stuff. It's like
Didn't
it's
work.
something. Certain things just don't translate.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to be watching Trump and him?
No, but we said we was, but this one now. I don't think we ain't really we ain't paying attention to it. I mean, look at the lineup. It's like 7 of the motherfuckers is his family.
Yeah, that's crazy,
So,
man.
And they said
How
pretty
about-
much the Republicans don't have a platform. It's basically just praising Trump. So
Yeah.
for 4 days, just jocking this man. It's like, I don't really need to see that. There's gonna be a bunch of lying and talking about how he's the best thing since sliced bread for black
Yes.
people. And
I
all
mean,
that,
but they
you
did
know.
the same with Biden, man. It was just how great he was. And since I'm not that much of a Biden fan, it was a little cringeworthy for me a couple of times. Like, come on, man.
Well,
Look,
okay.
dog.
So if you thought that was cringeworthy, saying he was compassionate,
I know.
saying that the man was, dedicated, all these like wonderful attributes.
Yes.
It's all gonna be this man is great.
Yeah, I know. And look what he's done for you people. So that will get
yeah.
old real fast. One thing I noticed, man, I read an article that said that Jill Biden was married to a dude before, and they said that my man Joe Biden swooped in and stole Jill from somebody else. Now, here's a problem with that. The narrative is their first date. Some say it was a blind date and they hooked up but according to Jill Biden's ex-husband, he was like, hell no, there wasn't no damn blind date. We met Mr. Biden because we worked for Mr. Biden, helped him get elected. And then one day he started getting real close to my wife. I knew this because I asked her, hey, you want to go see the boss? Because I guess he had a small club and he was going to have to take a contract or some money to Bruce Springsteen. And she was like, no, I got to babysit for the other boss. And he was like, that seems strange. Then later on, I guess Jill got into a car accident. Well, her car got in a car accident, but Joe Biden was driving. And that was the last straw for my dude. He was like, you gone. He kicked her out. She upgraded on her for Joe, man. Does it change the way you see Joe and Jill?
If it just happened, but 40 years later, no, and they still together, and she's still his number one cheerleader, and I think doing the primary in L.A. when somebody hopped on the stage and Jill went and rushed him. It's like, you know what,
Jill's
man?
a badass chick,
yeah,
man.
She fell in love with this dude, man. It's not like it's not like some gold digging shit. Plus, she went back to work as a Well, she continued working, homie.
It's not necessarily gold digging, but she definitely upgraded on her first dude, because her first dude said he pulled her when he pulled up in the Z28 Camaro, which lets you know he was turning heads. Now she was only 18, and then later on she connected with Joe and his kids and blah 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 blah. It makes me. I'm not mad at Joe for that. I mean, I think it was foul. I think it's a flag on the play, but I'd be mad at Jill Biden if Jill Biden wasn't such a cool chick. I mean, come on, military mom, teacher. It's kind of hard to be hating on a woman with those kind of credentials, dog. So they cool with me. I'm not changing my vote anyway because I'm not putting Trump back in the White House. Now, Ice Cube does not want black people to just vote for Democrats just because they're Democrats. He wants black people to force the Democratic Party to sign what he calls the contract with Black America in exchange for the black vote. And he took to Twitter and he said he's looking for things like bank lending. He needs prison reform, mandatory license for black content to hit the airwaves. How do you feel about what Ice Cube is asking, Kamal?
I don't like the ultimatum, but I like what he's saying. And that was always my point about like why black people should support Democrats, because they are more willing to listen. If you're gonna support a party, and I'm not a big fan of the Democrats either, but if somebody is,
I'm glad to know that, because I'm not at all.
Yeah, but if somebody's gonna have a sympathetic ear and it might actually do something for us,
yes,
it's probably gonna be the Democrats. The problem is they get a bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
They get a bad rap, man. I think it's a little unfair, but I get it, because they say black people are still in our state. We still have 1/10 of like the white wealth. So I get that.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are they? What is it that we're asking for that they haven't given us? So that's
Ice Cube is finally asking for something.
Right. I don't like the ultimatum, but like I said, I like where his head's at.
Yeah.
I like the fact that basically, hey man, if we're going to elect you, we need to mobilize and put together some type of coalition or some special interest group to demand shit. Same thing with the Tea Party, same thing with the NRA, same thing with these other voting blocks, these what do they call it, special interest groups.
Yeah.
I think black people,
political action committees and all that.
I think black people should be a special interest group. We need to get together and come up with a list of demands. And I can guarantee you, if we had a special interest group and we were united and we talked about what we wanted, I guarantee only one political party is going to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? The other ones ain't going to want none of this shit that we asking for. So that's just my 2 cents. I like Cube. Big respect, but the ultimatum I think is a little dangerous, because if he don't get this contract, what is he saying? We're going to sit this one out on the sidelines?
Sit this one out. This is one we can't sit out. It's more dangerous than ever. And because there's been another shooting, man, believe it or not, man, Wisconsin. Brother Jacob Blake gets shot in the back. He's going to his car. Now, of course, the critics are going to say, when are you black people going to stop running away from the cops? When are you going to follow orders and not? Yes, he was walking away from the police. And my main man, White Jim Kelly for Show Linwood Radio, he said it so loud and so eloquently. They're not shooting me in the back for walking off when a cop's talking to me. It's just not going to happen. And that's what we're saying. We want to be treated like you would treat your son. You would not shoot your son in the back. What say you, Kamal?
Yeah, man, it goes back to just, the fear they have of us. The guy with the training, the bulletproof vest, and the gun is scared of the unarmed person.
Yes.
It makes no damn sense. He feared for his life, and he's got all this shit. He's got 19 of his homeboys around.
Yes. And my man has his kids in the back seat, but you're the one that's fearing for your life. That's some bullshit, man.
Yeah, and so I thought he was dead. He shot him like 6 or 7 times in the back.
Yeah.
Point blank. It was almost like the gun was touching his back, and he didn't kill him. I mean, that is
straight miracle. He's paralyzed from the waist down, so we're just gonna pray that he can somehow walk again. That the paralysis is temporary, but this is just such a tragedy. When we come back, man, we got some feedback, and later in the show, we got a post-nut story about a guy who goes through some major lengths to hook up with his ex. What exactly did he do? You have to wait and see. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, what's up, guys? I sure hope you're enjoying the show. If you like it, I invite you to go to our website, themrapodcast.com, and catch up on over 100 episodes that we have in store for you.
You ain't working, you might as well check us out.
And if you want some more, go over to The World According to Cheryl and check me out on Cheryl Underwood's podcast. We post content there every single day. We have her normal radio show labeled SUR, and then the Cheryl Underwood podcast, where we get in her personal business every Friday. Then on the weekends, we have the specialty shows that range from Late Night Cupcake to Auntie Cheryl's House Party to our gospel show, Spiritual Nourishment.
You gotta check out The World According to Cheryl, even though I ain't on it.
We got some feedback, homie.
Do we now?
Yeah, this one's from Rocky in the Rocky Mountains. He says, "What's up, gents? I am new to the show, and it is really great. I have to say, I laughed when Kyle contradicted himself. He said he hates when people like Roy Jones are cocky. Then I hear on a commercial where he is saying that people should listen to your show because you guys are great. Leave it to a Raiders fan to contradict himself that fast. Come on, man. What do you think about
Did he get us mixed up?
He did get us mixed up.
I'm the one that said I don't like the cocky cats.
Yes, and you're the one on the commercial that says, because we're great.
Oh. So he's new, so he doesn't know.
It doesn't know, man.
Oh, so I'm the one who contradicted myself.
Yes, that wasn't me, Rocky. That was Kamal.
Man, I ain't feeling Rocky's comment.
At first, you loved it. Hey, man, the guy, listen, the guy called a spade a spade. Oh, wait a minute. He was talking about me.
You can't trust him.
Yeah, man, that's hilarious, man. Hey, man, we come back, a guy goes through some major lengths to hook up with an ex. What exactly did he do? You got to wait and see. It's the MRA Podcast. According to Webster's dictionary, being in post-nut mode is when you have a clear mind and you can make sound decisions as if you just busted a nut.
Yeah, I don't know if Webster actually said that.
No, he didn't. But our listener, Big Easy Q, told us all about it, and we can relate. Women, men. So listen, if you have a story of when you did something foolish.
In pre-nut mode?
Yeah, something really dumb. Maybe it was top grime, especially something in pre-nut mode you don't want nobody to know about. Hit us up, and we'll tell the world. We can all laugh at your expense, and hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes.
Aristotle once said, the results of pre-nut mode is the best teacher. I think he said some shit like that.
Send us your stories at dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That's dearirby@themrapodcast.com. And now it's time for a post-nut mode story, only on the MRA Podcast. All right, Kamal, it's post-nut time. This one says, hey, guys, my name is Jerome, and I live in Boise, Idaho. Yes, you have listeners in Boise. Well, that's good news. Kamal, he said, my high school girlfriend dumped me for my best friend. Yikes. She got mad at me because I wanted her to have an abortion, and she took that as me not really loving her. I really did love her. I was just really scared at the time. Guys, you have to believe me. I believe you, dog. She ends up dumping me, and I was heartbroken. But what hurts even more is she dumped me for my best friend at the time. They get together, and they have a kid, but of course she catches him cheating and she leaves him. A whole lot of years later, her and I connect on Facebook, and next thing you know, we start texting, and texting leads to sexting. She tells me she wants to see me, and I can't wait. I really love this girl, and I just wanted to smell her hair again. That's hilarious. I live in the city, and she lives about 2 hours out into the sticks. I get to her house and park my car, and what do you know? I see my former best friend's car in the driveway. I text her immediately like, what's going on? Is this a setup? No response. So I back out of the driveway, and as I'm going around the corner to wait, she returns my text saying she didn't expect him to be coming by to pick up their daughter. I made her tell me the truth, and it turns out they are still messing around. Now I'm pissed off, guys, because I drove way out here for nothing. My heart is hurting, and I couldn't go out like that. I asked her to come out to the car, and she looked amazing, so I had nothing to lose. I asked her to give me some head. Since I drove out there, and she did. I knew it was dangerous because he could come out any second, and I didn't care. I drove back to the city completely satisfied that it may have taken 10 years, but I got the last laugh. Now that I look back, that was really dumb. How's that for a post-nut mode? That's Jerome of Boise, Idaho. Keep up the good work, guys. This show is my outlet. Kamal, how do you feel about Jerome's adventure?
Man, Jerome is tripping.
Hell yeah.
He couldn't just, she lived in the sticks. He couldn't drive around the block. Like, what the hell was Jerome thinking? He said he could come out anytime. I thought they rolled out somewhere.
What you mean?
Like basically hopped in the car, went down the block or
dipped
something.
Off. Nope.
Yeah, he right there.
Dude, why?
Jerome was tripping.
Jerome was tripping. But wait a minute, Kamal. Jerome was really tripping. Well, old girl was tripping because Jerome thought he was about to get him something. He wasn't, man. The daughter was home. How's that going to work out?
No, the girl's foul.
Huh? Oh,
the girl's foul. Yeah, she's foul. I mean, you know, whatever. But, you know, Jerome's our guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Jerome, you tripping, dog. And I guess basically she had the abortion.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming she didn't have the kid because you guys weren't speaking for years. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming she had the abortion. So you talked her into having an abortion. She did it, and she got mad and dipped off with your best friend. Best friends file as well. So best friends file, girls file. And you said you were scared, so I'll give you a pass on the trying to get her to have an abortion thing. I guess you did get the last laugh, man. Hopefully
man,
she didn't. Hopefully she didn't. She didn't brush her teeth. She went there, gave him a kiss. That'd really seal the deal.
Take that, former best friend. Hey man, have you ever wanted to smell a girl's hair, Kamal?
I used to like the way my wife, before she was my wife, I used to like the way whatever she used, like Prel or whatever, it was like some, you know what I'm saying, some white shampoo. And I would be like smelling like, damn, this shit smells good. Like, dude, what is this? Yeah, it was like, it was, something, you could buy at CVS. It wasn't nothing special, but it was like, geez, Louise.
What is that smell? What? Something about that smell has just got me wanting to see this woman.
Yeah. And so weird,
man.
I used to like smelling hair.
Yeah, man, I did too, man. We come back, Master P and Monica square off, man. We talked a little bit about this last week. We're going to get you up to date. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, guys, if you're digging the show, then please tell somebody. People might say something to you like, hey, man, what podcast you listening to? And that's when you say the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal.
Or the MRA Podcast with Kamal and Kyle.
All right, Kamal. Last week we talked about Monica and C Murder, and we kind of took the angle of Monica and Shannon Brown. Well, I didn't know this, man. I guess Master Peter's No Limit Soldier brother C Murder seems that they're at war. Monica got hit with some of the shrapnel in their beef. Master P seems to be mad that C Murder gushed on about the help that Monica has done, but P doesn't seem to feel the love. Also, C Murder talked about Kim Kardashian being his angel, and Master P is like, man, Grandma's the angel. Why are we calling Kim Kardashian the angel? Because she sent one tweet. Kamal, there's a whole lot to unpack in this, man. What do you see so far?
I'm rolling with P on this one, man. Yeah, I'm rolling with P on this one because the thing about it is, C Murder's been in prison for 15 or 18 years now.
Long time, yeah.
18 years. And Kim Kardashian, Monica said she told Kim Kardashian about him like 7 months ago.
Yes.
But for like the majority of this man's stay in prison, P's probably been financing everything, lawyers, appeals, all this stuff, private investigators, all of this stuff, making sure his family's straight, making sure his kids are straight, making sure he's got money on his books, making sure he's got food and all of that stuff, man. And so P probably feels like, I've been doing all of this, and you shout them out?
Yeah.
Hold up, homie.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, hold on, man. Like, and I guess he's just salty about a lot of his family. He said he cut off the ATM. The ATM's off, man, because he said he's just been breaking family off, and they're ungrateful. And he was saying, like, man, all he really wanted, he said, man, like, what do you give the man who has everything? What about a card? Like, ain't nobody just giving them, like, they don't reciprocate.
They just take. They
take. He's like, man, I know you can't afford to buy me a Bugatti or nothing like that, but just get me a card saying thank you, you appreciate me. Wow. And he was saying, like, man, he changed his life. And he was saying the people that C Murder is repping for are the ones who really committed the murder. So he's just, man, he's like,
what you mean the repping for?
Like, basically, man, like C Murder was hanging out with some guys, and I guess according to P, without, I think he's dry snitching, but they're the ones who did it. He says his brother's innocent, but his brother won't snitch. So he's getting the blame for it, and I think he's still cool with these guys. He still shouts them out.
Wow.
And these guys are free, where this man has been spent the last 18 years, and and they looking at, not they, but I think C Murder's looking at P kind of funny style, but it's like, I'm the one who's really got your back. I'm the one who told you don't hang out with them dudes. I'm the one. Go ahead.
It sounds like P is kind of taking this Puritan approach, like he's a good guy now, he's saved, And sounds like C Murder is like, man, you change. But P is like, man, I don't give a damn about change. I've been there. Like P's quote, he says, quote, you got to have heart for people that really helped you. Monica just got divorced last year. So I'm thinking like, that's your ride or die? That's cool. If that's the way you feel. P also said he's done. That's when he said the ATM, I'm done being the ATM. So Monica clapped back at that part. She said, at Master P, I have been respectful towards you and you have refused to do the same. Exclamation mark. You cannot speak on me because you do not know me. I have only conversed with Silk. S-I-L-K-K. That's Silk the Shocker. This matter is between you men, your brothers. Leave me out of this because my efforts have been the same. I just didn't see the need to post it. Then Monica clipped her receipts. She said, check the visitation list. From the parish to Angola to Hunts, or better yet, ask his children, exclamation mark. You responded before you read. I connected to him to Kim 7 months ago, so he's never blah, 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 blah. Focus on his freedom. So P deleted, the post, and then, he basically gave the apology to Monica. He said, we're doing too much positive to deal with the negative. I have no beef with at Monica. She got caught up in some family drama that we have to fix. I'm man enough to admit that. I'm glad that P is man enough to admit it. How you feel about him apologizing, Kamal?
I guess. I'm still.
You don't think he should have?
Well, because here's the thing about, he got his timeline wrong. But still, I'm the one funding everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the one. Man, these appeals ain't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying for these lawyers. He said he paid money to get him to go to his grandmother's funeral to get him out. He said this shit costs money. I did that. And then he said that, man, some of the shit that he's been saying on social media, he's talking about C Murder, doesn't even sound like him. He's saying that basically, man, he was talking about his family, ain't nobody loving him, had love for him, and I think he said some disparaging remarks about his grandmother, who's no longer with him. And so P is really salty. And you know who should be really salty after that Monica clapback? Shannon Brown. Like, wait, what the fuck? He was going to visit this motherfucker? Hey, whoa.
Wait a minute.
How
the fuck was you keeping... This nigga was your ex. He started reading the shit. She was like, Angola? Hunts?
Yeah, Parish. Wait.
Parish? What the bitch? We was together during the Angola stretch.
Wait, you told me you had a cousin and you went to go see it in Angola.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, man. Honestly, man, I'm rolling with P on this one. I'm still Team Shannon.
No doubt, man. We come back, man. Speaking of flags on the play, Lisa Ray shoots her shot at Will Smith. Is that a violation? We'll talk about it. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, guys and gals, if you're enjoying the show, let someone know. Whatever app you're listening on, please subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a positive comment.
So why wouldn't you give us 5 stars and a positive comment? We're great.
Yes, we are. This helps our placement so that other people can enjoy the show as well.
And why wouldn't they? We're great.
Kamal, Lisa Ray was talking to, I don't know how to say her name, old girl from the Jamie Foxx show. How do you say it? Garcelle
Bouvier or something like that?
Something like that. She's going to be on the Real now.
Fancy.
Fancy. We all know her as Fancy. So Fancy from Jamie Foxx. No, not when Jamie Foxx when she was Fancy, was it?
She was Fancy, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fancy from Jamie Foxx's TV show. Beautiful sister. Woo, cold. Anyway, so she has a podcast, and Lisa Ray used to work for the Smiths back in the day. She starred on All of Us, and now she has an eye for Jada's man, because Ray ran on Fancy's show, her podcast called Going to Bed, and Fancy asked Ray what kind of man she liked. Lisa Ray, with her fine self, said Will Smith.
Not a man like Will Smith, huh? Will Smith.
Not a man like Will, Willard Smith. And then Fancy reminded Ray that Will was married to Jada. And that's when Ray said the two can have an entanglement. Oh, shots fired. Now, keep in mind, when this whole entanglement happened, I watched a clip on Lisa Ray is on some Fox, one of those Fox, not necessarily Fox, but a Fox internet or Fox, some Fox talk shows, a bunch of sisters.
One of those, what do you call it? Those syndicated talk shows that appeared on Fox.
Exactly. It's one of those that's still going, whatever. But they talked about the whole thing. And Lisa Ray was very critical on Jada about this whole, entanglements issues. And now she says, because at first when she talked about Jada, she came from the perspective of, I know the Smiths, I worked for them on All of Us, blah, blah, blah. I think she said Jada was a little stank back then, though, if my memory serves me correct. But that's not the point. Now she's talking about she wants her dude, she can have an entanglement. Man, I'm calling a flag on the play. What say you, dog?
Definitely file for Lisa Ray to be shooting her shot publicly with a married man like Will Smith, especially what's going on. He don't need the scrutiny. He doesn't need this.
No.
Having said that,
since
the shot was fired,
hilarious.
And Will did say he was going to get her back.
Hey, listen, that means he's got some credit right now in the account.
Well, the way I look at it is, what I'm saying, Will probably won't press up, but now that he knows, what I'm saying, the office hours are open
from 9 to 5. But are you getting some ass with Lisa Ray on your shot? Because this is not Players Club Lisa Ray. This is down the road Lisa Ray, man. Are you using your hall pass on Lisa Ray? Or are you going to use it on somebody else? Or are you going to use it on both?
I wouldn't use my hall pass on Lisa Ray.
No, I'm not doing that.
But like some revenge, you know what I'm saying? Especially if Jada and Lisa Ray never liked each other.
That's what makes it worse to me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's cooler to smash one of your girl's friends than her enemies. And that's a good question to ask the people. Fellas, hit us up. Ladies, hit us up. Which is worse? And ladies, do not ruin this poll question by saying some stupid shit like don't do neither. Let us know. Which would you rather?
What would hurt worse?
I'm trying to think now if it was me. I think friend might hurt worse, man. Because I'd expect the enemy. You know what I mean? Like, I think friend might hurt worse. What do you think hurt worse? Friend or enemy?
I would say the enemy would hurt worse than the friend.
Especially if the enemy is doing very well.
Especially if you've heard me going at the enemy and just talking shit about the enemy and just like, the motherfucker.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I know one dude in particular that I'd rather you smash than him. Because at least I know you're a good dude, man. But this dude right now, I couldn't take it.
Yeah, sleeping with the enemy, I think, is worse than
it's the worst you could do, man.
Yeah, they both foul. Let me state this.
Go ahead.
They both foul.
It's both foul, bro. But like I said, you're my boy, man. Like it's like in the Bible, like Joe Biden's sons in the Bible, man. When your brother dies. If he don't leave a son, you're supposed to take over his wife and smash. I mean, it's like, go ahead, keep it in the family, dog. But like, those 3 people that I could think of from high school that I still hate, hell motherfucking
Kyle, I can honestly say your chicks are safe.
Hilarious. Man, we come back. Man, this is getting crazy, man. We got to talk about this coming up, man. Seth Curry called Paul George a bitch, and wait till you hear why. Oh, I love this story. It's the MRA Podcast. You listen to us, but Kamal and I want you to know that we listen to you too.
Even if we don't always respond to your tweets in a timely manner.
I love how you say we, man. So if you have some feedback, maybe you agree.
Maybe you disagree.
Or maybe you just want to tell us how much you love the show, or that you want to testify about how we specifically helped you out. Or maybe you just want to tell Kamal how he was right or wrong.
But mostly right.
Whatever you want to tell us, hit us on our social. I'm at Kyle Irby.
I'm at Angry Kamal.
Hit us up and you just might hear your comment on the air.
Promise. We'll be gentle.
Kamal, I love this story. You sent me this story because we have talked about it here on the MRA Podcast. So this is a beautiful love triangle that I'm going to need you to try to explain. All right. Seth Curry is with Paul George's ex-wife.
Yes.
Paul George, try to explain it, dog, please.
Okay. So Paul George plays for the Clippers.
Yes.
And is coached by Doc Rivers.
Yes.
Paul George used to be with Doc Rivers' daughter.
Yes.
But he cheated on her.
Yes, with the stripper.
Yes. Doc Rivers' daughter is now married to Seth Curry, brother of Steph Curry.
We got to back it up because Doc Rivers brought Paul George to the team after the cheating scandal.
Yes.
Knowing full well that this dude cheated on his daughter with a stripper, he put first things first and brought him anyway.
Just win, baby. Al Davis is somewhere smiling.
Hell yeah, he is, man. So now, let's see. Doc Rivers' son-in-law plays for the team he's trying to crush in the bubble, the Dallas Mavericks.
Yes.
Right? And this is Steph Curry's little brother, Seth. Steph Curry's out the playoffs. He's gone fishing. Seth Curry put a move on Paul George and afterwards said something. Now, I didn't see the mouth say bitch. Did you see it come out?
I think he said bitch ass nigga. But they say I think he, you know what I'm saying, I think he said that, but it, you know, they say bitch ass, I'll accept that. But I think what I saw, I was like, oh, he said some more.
He said something. It was personal.
Yeah.
Ooh. Kamal, let me tell you something, man. I love this story, man, because could you imagine? We talked about your friend or your enemy. Could you imagine, Kamal, the motherfucker that you can't stand, and now you're in the playoffs against these so-called future NBA champions, and your father-in-law is the coach of that team? Kamal, how hard are you trying to bring it to this bitch motherfucker who used to fuck your wife? Ugh.
Well, if that's the only reason why he might hate him, I mean, for me, I think Seth is to blame for this because I wouldn't have been with her. Here's the thing, Kyle.
What?
I wouldn't have been with Doc's daughter.
Why?
What's her name? Kaylee Rivers or Callie Rivers?
Yeah, why?
Well, first of all, man, her previous guy is taller than me, better than me, money is longer than mine.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying?
You're the safe next guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And so, and I'm playing in the league with them. I'm coming off the bench. This man making, you know what I'm saying, $50 million a year. So we play against him. I got to see this man. Now, if I don't see my girl's ex, cool. Yeah, even better. Especially if we in different industries. But we in the same industry. He's more successful than me. And I have to run across him every now and again.
And you got to go against the dude.
And chances are, I'm going to lose because I'm not as good as he is.
Oh, how embarrassing is that, Kamal?
Oh, yeah. Me personally, I couldn't do it. I couldn't be with Doc's daughter. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, so hard, I couldn't do it.
You're already Steph Curry's little brother. You're already the other Curry. I told you that, I'm shooting a commercial. I'll talk about it after I shoot it, but I went to wardrobe. And this was a crazy coincidence. So the girl who's going to play my wife, her daughter, we thought it's not all right. We at the wardrobe session, sometimes they're fitting for several different spots that they're shooting. At the wardrobe session, she sees the older sister to a girl who played her daughter in the last commercial she did. And she was like, what are the odds of that? That girl right there, her little sister was my daughter in the last commercial I shot. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? She was like, and that little girl was the best actress I've ever seen. I bet this girl is just as good. I said, before you assume that, have you heard of Steph Curry? She said, of course. I said, have you heard of Seth Curry? She said, no. I said, that's his brother, and he's in the NBA. And she was like, really? I said, yeah. So it doesn't mean they're both great. And then fast forward to this conversation we're having right now where it's like, you're Steph Curry's little brother. You're the other Curry. Your dad was Dell Curry. You're the third Curry, least successful Curry. And you got this girl after she was with another superstar who did her dirty. So now you're Captain Save 'em. You're already nice guy's little brother. You talk about the chip on the shoulder. I'm rooting for Seth right now, Kamal. Come on, dog. I want to see you dunk on Paul George, put nuts in his, sweaty balls in his face, Kamal.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm a Lakers fan and I'm not feeling this Clipper takeover.
I got you, but this is the equivalent, this for my OGs out there, the old people. It's the equivalent of Randy Jackson, Michael's little brother,
Yes.
linking up with Vanity after.
Speaking of Vanity, dog, did you hear the Vanity voice in Kamala Harris?
Oh yeah. I mean, Kamala Harris sounds like a baddie.
You sure look like a master to me.
Woo! She said. I was like, God,
Yeah. Kamala
dog,
Harris
she got
got
the voice.
Yeah,
She got the Vanity voice,
Yeah,
the
she sound-
sexy
yeah.
Vanity voice.
yeah.
That's funny that you noticed that. So we both used to smell hair, and we both heard the sex. And I was like, I'm trying to show respect to this future vice president, but God, dog, first of all, she's beautiful. And then she got that damn Vanity voice, man. Fellas, hit us up if you know what the Vanity voice is. Whew. When we come back, man. Oh, we got to talk about this, man. Speaking of the Dallas Mavericks, man. One of the Clippers called the Dallas Mavericks a bitch-ass white boy. And we got to talk about that. Are we offended? We'll find out. It's the MRE Podcast.
Guys, I have a comedy album. It's called Be a Man at All Times, and it's on, what's it on? Oh, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you stream your content.
It's a damn good comedy album.
I appreciate that, man. There's stand-up on there. Kamal and I wrote a whodunit mystery called The Case of the Missing Balls. That's on there.
Based on a true story.
Check out the album. Show your boy some support. And you can buy it on iTunes. Keyword buy it. Stop streaming. All right, Kamal. Luka Doncic. How do you say his name? Is it Doncic?
Doncic.
Whatever. Doncic.
Yeah,
Doncic.
Doncic.
Everybody knows who he is. He's the young
Luka.
superstar. Huh?
Luka is what we call him.
Everybody calls him Luka. Now, Luka is the guy right now in the NBA. Here's what's dope about Dallas Mavericks. They had the coldest white boy since Larry Bird in, what's his name?
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirt. The guy that brought in the Euro step, the guy that brought in that one-legged jumper. They get rid of Dirk, and then they bring in Luka. It's kind of like another Texas team, San Antonio Spurs. They got David Robinson, and then they get Tim Duncan. It's not every, or like the Green Bay Packers. They got Brett Favre, then they got Aaron Rodgers. Not many teams get to have the next great guy in the position. I hope that the Carolina Panthers have Cam Newton be just as successful as Tom Brady. I'm really rooting for this brother.
You
I
mean
hope
the
he can
New
pull
England
it off.
Patriots.
What did I say?
Carolina Panthers.
All right. I hope the New England Patriots' new quarterback, Cam Newton, can be just as successful and even better than what Tom Brady did. Unlikely because he's so old, but man, if he could do it, that would be because he's lived under his potential, in my opinion. So I'm really rooting for that brother. But back to this. Kamal, I told you I'm not a Clippers fan.
Yes.
Now, I'm not trying to make this racial, but I'm not normally rooting for the white guy. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm always rooting for the brother. Any boxing match, I'm rooting for the brother. But I find myself rooting for Luka and Kristaps Porzingis, whatever his name is. Kristaps Porzingis. To take down these Clippers, because for them to lose in the first round would be so delicious to me. That way I ain't got to worry about them. The first game, the Clippers got so lucky because some reason the white guy got ejected, and I don't think he should have. It was dirty. But in this most recent game, it's 2-2 when we recorded this. How do you say this name, man? Montrezl Harrell?
Yep.
Montrezl Harrell, for some reason, Montrezl is spelled with an L because you know how niggas do it. Montrezl with an L at the end called Luka a bitch-ass white boy. We're recording this before the punishment is laid down. Do you think he should be punished for that? Is that a flag on the play come out?
For fairness, man, I guess there's no history behind that of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if Luka called him a bitch ass nigger or something like that, we will all be outraged and Luka will lose some money.
Yes.
Montrezl calling him a bitch ass white boy is, I guess, in fairness, he's got to probably sit a game or have some type of punishment levied against him.
Yes.
But I don't think Luka's tripping.
You're stumbling on this shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he's got to be punished, Kamal. They got jerseys that say equality. How in the fuck can you call somebody a bitch-ass white boy, call him something with the name white in it when you're wearing a jersey that says equality? It looked bad for the black race, Kamal.
Okay.
When Martin Luther King and those brothers was marching, they knew they had to be blameless in the time of the heat. Well, guess what, brothers? We are in the time of the heat, and you can't do stupid shit like call somebody a bitch-ass white boy when we're complaining about racism. Is it the same? Is it equivalent? It's not really, because you can still say white boy in 2020 You can still say white girl in
I
2020.
I was gonna say you said white boy earlier when you were talking about Dirk Nowitzki. He's the coldest white
you
boy.
can still say white boy.
So you gave him
can
props. You said it in a.
I know.
In
I know.
a-
You can still say it. You can never say black boy.
Well, see, I don't know.
anytime in
But
the
see,
last-
here's the thing about it. I know white guys don't like it. They don't like that term, white boy. Like I was like on some message board a few months ago for the movie White Boy Rick, and just you know, and I was looking at it to see if anybody liked it because I kind of dug it, you know. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what the audience thought of it, and they were like, terrible title, change the title. Why is it called? Well, you know what I'm saying? It was like they were really upset about just the
As
term
they should be, Kamal.
phrase
They
white
should
boy.
be.
And my
They should be.
Remember my boy Walter, man, used to be my manager.
Of course.
He used to check me because I would be like, "Yeah, some white boys." I didn't really see anything wrong with it,
Yeah, of course not.
and I help me out, fellas, because I still don't. I don't get
If
it.
they don't like it, then we shouldn't do it. That's how that works now in 2020.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't see like the where it's offensive. Is it because I'm a man, not a boy? Then I respect that. But
Yeah.
just the term white boy, especially, I don't know, man. I don't see like any oppression behind it. You know, I don't see it. And so, but I'm not saying that it's not there. I need help seeing it.
yeah.
I need somebody to tell me, school me on this one.
Well, if it just change the word.
I try to say guys. I try to say white guys. I try to say white guys every now
Guys
and
is
again.
fine. No, I'm
I
saying
slip up.
change white to a different color, not black, just a different color, different whatever. That Asian boy right there, the Asian man's gonna be like, I'm not a boy. Bitch ass Asian boys, not is what? Because now you're using my name in the slur, so now it's like saying
Because we've been okay. I get you. So the
you
boy
can't use the
part,
name in the
we've been
slur.
calling them white boys for years,
yes,
and it's turned into a slur. So even when they're men, we call them white boys, which we would never
Yes.
call. We wouldn't say that Latin boy, Latino boy, or Asian boy
yes.
to a 35-year-old Asian man.
We would not. We would never do that. And we wouldn't. Yeah, we just wouldn't do that. And anytime you use somebody's description as in the slur, it's a slur. It's like, you know, I won't even give an example for Jews, but if you use that word and put Jew in there, you're done. You know what I mean? I won't even give the example, but you get the point. You can't say that. You can't. You know, I don't remember which comedian it was, but he was like, man, Jewish people are the only people who if you call them by their name and you say it with the wrong term, with the wrong energy, it's a slur.
So I guess the because we wouldn't call. I mean, me personally would never call like a 60-year-old white man white boy.
Never.
But somewhere like young man, an actual
Yes.
teenager to like mid-30s, I guess. I guess I
Hilarious.
would, but I don't mean any disrespect. It's just a young white guy. But I would never call. Like back in the day, Jim Crow South, they would call grown man boy, and no matter how old they were, hey boy, get over here.
Yeah.
Motherfucker be like in
And
60s
your
or
boy
70s.
Walter Mosley talks about it in his books, how much he hated that the white man would always call him boy at the age of 40.
Oh, you reading Walter Mosley?
Man, you put me on Walter Mosley, Kamal. What you thought? I was just not going to do
I
it, bro?
don't know, man. Sheesh.
Come on, man. You put me on it. I said I was going to do it. So far, I already got through Devil in the Blue Dress. And then I got through Red something.
Oh my
then
gosh.
I did,
I said, oh my gosh, I'm
Yeah,
hyped.
dog. I did yellow. No, I did yellow, red, and now I'm reading
A
blue.
little
I did
yellow
blue.
dog.
I did. No, it was white. I read white,
White
butterfly, blue dress, red something about death, red death. I think it was. That's 3. I read all 3 of those, and now I'm reading Black Betty.
Black Betty's good.
Yeah, Black Betty's real good. It's the best one since Blue Dress for me. Yeah, man. So, yeah, you've recommended them, man. Come on, you're going to learn about me being a man of my word, dog. So, yes, I'm enjoying them. Thank you for the recommendation. And, yes, I got to put my dad on those books because it's set in Watts, and I feel like he would love them. So, if you're listening, Pops, you need to go get down with Easy Rollins.
And I appreciate you being a man of your word, especially since I am not.
Hilarious. When we come back, it's Dear Irby time. We have a letter from a guy whose wife will not let him wear the pants. Kamal, we got to help this dude out. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey guys, what's up? If you're enjoying this show, do us a favor and donate to our Patreon.
Word.
Just go to www.patreon.com. That's Patreon.com and make a donation to the MRA Podcast of Kyle and Kamal.
Word.
It's that simple. Listen to the show, love the show, share the show, break the show off with some dough.
Bars.
Let's get into this Dear Irby letter.
Let us.
Dear Irby, I always saw myself as a man's man. I'm a career military man. I have fought overseas. I used to play ball in high school. I am no pushover. I have always loved the girls, but I never considered myself one of the guys who played that dormant role. I listen to you guys every week and try to take what I can from the little info you give, and I am always on my game. Little info was a little offensive. I just want you to know that. I'm a happily married man with 5 kids by 3 women. My newest wife is a lot younger than I'm used to, and she's a fine lady, but she could be a spoiled brat at times. My wife doesn't listen to me, you guys. I be trying to tell her what I would like her to do, but she always argues back. I don't push over right away. I fight, but she always has more fight than me, and I end up letting go. About 6 weeks ago, after yet another fight, I gave up and decided to start listening to her. I have been in the military for 20 years now. I follow orders well. I figured one of us is going to have to do what they are told. Since I can't get her to listen, it might as well be me. Now I am wondering if I can still call myself a real man. What do you guys think? Reggie in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Kamal, what do you think, sir?
No, he can't call himself a man as long as he's phrasing it that way. If he's going to word it that way, like somebody's got to take orders, might as well be me, then no, you can't call yourself a man. However, if you just letting her get what she wants to keep the peace, very smart man.
Ding, 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 ding.
Well, because here's the thing about it, man. If you try to push back and she just got more energy. See, the thing about it is she's younger than you, man. You already had your fights, you know? And so right now you're in that age, you're a middle-aged man now. And you just want peace. Yeah. And so that dog that was in you is not there anymore. After a while, the dog has to go somewhere and rest. And the dog is resting. It's not you, Reggie. Don't act like somebody's got to take orders. Don't get out of that military frame of mind. It's not even about taking orders. Is the shit worth it? Is standing your ground all the time worth it? You said yourself, she's spoiled. Now, me personally, you know, I probably wouldn't have been with her. But she's younger, she's fine, as you said, and so it's like, man, you know, she's your young tender. And if you don't have, like, you know, Mick Jagger type money, the young tender is probably gonna run that house because A, like I said earlier, the fight in you is gone, and B, you don't want to lose her. You know what I'm saying? You know, chick your age, you're a little older, you're like, hey, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. But you think this youngest one is like, well, why is she even with me? I'm surprised she's with me because I'm so old. And so you make a lot of concessions and stuff like that. But the thing I would say, Reg, some advice, because I need to just get you to change your mindset. You know, the thing about it is, man, you need to come up with like some type of things, that certain hills that you have to die on. You can't just be a pushover. A lot of the shit you gotta let slide just because to keep the peace. But there has to be some things that you will not back down on. And I think she needs to know that. You know, you can make this decision. Okay, all right. But this, nah, we're not doing that. And she needs to know certain lines that she cannot cross because, you know, you don't want to just run wild on you. But as far as like her making a lot of decisions, if you are in that comfort part of your life and you just want to ride out into the sunset, you know, you said 20-year military man, you looking at retirement coming up soon, you just want to chill, you don't want to hear no nagging and fighting and all of that shit, I don't blame you. But, you know, you can't get her to change your mind. Now, shit you indifferent about, yeah, fuck it, go ahead, make the decision. I don't care about that. But don't let this woman change your mind. That I would say you got to stand up for. You know, but shit you don't care about, man, let her have it. Shit that don't matter, let her have it, man. Peace is much better than getting your way.
We come back, I'm going to weigh in. Yo, what's up? I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kamal.
And you're listening to the MRA podcast where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. Kamala was well said, homie. Let's go say that.
Thank you.
What's his name? Reggie? Is that Reggie? Reggie and Fayetteville. Okay. I wonder if he's at Fort Bragg. Anyway, Reggie. This, listen, bro. I'm learning this right now. I work for a woman. I work for Cheryl Underwood. She is my boss. I did not used to be able to say that, Kamal. I did not used to be able to call Cheryl my boss. I used to say I work with Cheryl Underwood. Now I say I work for Cheryl Underwood. She is my boss. I had to learn how to do that. 5 years ago, I got fired. The reason why I got fired is because I was not in my place. My male ego had a hard time having a female boss. I had a hard time having any boss. And I was like, I did not know my place, and I got put in it and removed. When I got an opportunity, came back, I was a new man. And so when Reggie wrote this email, my first thought was, nigga, you sound like a bitch. But I had to change my tune because, and I'm glad I did, because I've been thinking about this a lot, because I've been really struggling with this, how I'm going to respond on this. And what I realized right in time is that you don't have to be a bitch just because you're not the boss. That works.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the bitch just because you're not the boss. Cheryl Underwood is my boss. She works for, a lot of men work for Cheryl Underwood. Just because she's your boss, now you might be a bitch ass motherfucker that works for her, or you might be a man that works for her. I stand my ground with Cheryl. And if I don't, she will run all over me and lose my respect and lose respect for me. You have to stand your ground with your wife, even if you realize she is actually the boss. I know it's got to be hard, and I'm very curious how the fellas going to feel about this. I feel like I'm going to lose some cool points if I go too far and allow this too much. But it's just like with your mom. I grew up with a single mom. My mom was the boss. I was still a man, though. You can have a woman be your boss and still be the man as long as you carry yourself like a man. You know, just because she's the boss don't mean you got to be a bitch. Even if a man is your boss, you ain't got to act like a bitch. You know, just because, I mean, let's see, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't ask my mom for money. To me, that's a bitch-ass move. But I still show my mom respect. So you got to learn how to show this, your wife. Because I guess what he realized is, man, I ain't running nothing but my mouth. And that's a hard thing it's really hard to come to that realization. It's really hard to learn how to submit. I believe somebody's got to run that show. I prefer if it was the man. I prefer if it was me. But I'm like Reggie, man. I'm not here to fight, bro. Not in my house, Kamel.
No.
I'm going to try to run the show. But if I don't have, you know, it's like if I'm the head coach, you're not going to run me. So I still have a hard time giving up that power in the house. Well, it's like you're not going to run me, but we're not going to be arguing all the time. So if I got Randy Moss, I'm going to bend the rules for Randy Moss.
Well, here's the thing about it, man. I don't even think it's about being the boss. If she's making a lot of the decisions about the kids and stuff like that, and school and stuff like that, things that he probably thinks that I'm supposed to, because I'm the man, I'm supposed to be in charge of everything, that's fine. But if she's getting him to go against his principles and his values and the shit that he likes, like, no, we ain't doing that shit no more, then that's a problem. And so
come out. A lot of men don't realize that their wife is running them because you're always trying to please her. She's the one that's going to complain. You want to make sure that she doesn't complain.
Yeah.
It's just like back when daddy ran the house. Make sure daddy don't get mad. Nowadays, in a lot of houses, it's make sure my wife don't get upset. And that's the name of the game. Yeah. And it's kind of, you don't see it as submitting, but you really are, because you're constantly trying to make sure she doesn't get mad.
Yeah,
it's just like the house. Let's say you wanted to decorate your house, Kamal. If your wife wants the blue couch and you want the red couch, it's probably going to be the blue couch, the one she wants.
Right.
Now you have your boundary. You're like, don't bring no goddamn Christmas tree in this motherfucker. But other than your boundary, she's going to get to make the decision over most of the decisions, and you're just going to let it go. Right.
Because that's not a hill worth dying on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my point to Reggie. It's like, certain things, just the peace. It doesn't matter. And honestly, you might be blowing this out of proportion, Reggie. What you think is like letting her be the boss is probably just a normal relationship. You just used, because you're in the military and you're used to structure. You're used to just being like the guy who makes all the decisions. And so because she's making decisions maybe about the kids and the furniture and play dates and, whatever, where you guys are going this weekend for like, social parties, you're thinking that, what the fuck? Am I a bitch? It's like, nah, man, that's, shit, that's relationships.
Well, that's the new relationships.
Well, I think that's always been the relationships. I mean, I think basically the man made the money. Here's your allowance, but the woman ran the house. I think she always dealt with the kids. She picked what was going to be for dinner. She did the grocery shopping.
I got it.
So he bought her a car. It's the car you're going to drive. It's the house you're going to live in. But aside from that,
here's what it is, Kamal. Cheryl Underwood is the boss, but she keeps it in respect. She doesn't disrespect me. She might nag, she might this, she might that, but she doesn't disrespect. If she did, we'd have a problem. The day you stop having a problem when you getting disrespected as a man is the day you was a motherfucking bitch. You need some advice in your relationship
and can't afford a therapist?
Yeah. Hit us up and we'll get you through this.
We won't even charge you a copay.
Exactly. The Dear Irby letter is our longest standing segment on the MRA, dating all the way back to the webisodes. This is where we truly save relationships one listener at a time. We've saved marriages.
Encouraged divorce.
Taught a guy how to please his woman.
Encouraged divorce.
Yeah, so hit us up for advice and we'll help you out. Send your emails to dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That is dearirby@themrapodcast.com. Where can we find you?
Twitter and Instagram @Angry Kamal.
I am at Kyle Irby, KyleErby. At the MRA Podcast is where you can find us both. KyleIrby.com is my website. You can go there and always reach me. You can watch some videos I've done, some commercials I've done, and check out my new headshots. They're coming soon. The MRA Podcast is where you can see 108 episodes that we have done. Kamal, thank you for bringing it every week, being prepared, being hilarious, being insightful.
Thank you.
Ladies, we love you. Fellas, be a man at all times.
Deuces.
MRA.